Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's Thursday morning. I just left Ohio. I'm in Pennsylvania. The sky is totally gray. Once again, exactly like it was in Utah, in Colorado, in Iowa, in Indiana. I don't know what comes after Indiana. Oh, Nebraska, just like it was in Nebraska. Not that that comes afterwards. Yeah. And the same thing here in Pennsylvania. At any rate, I just spent 8 days out in Utah. Petroglyphs, Native Americans, cliffs, mesas, basins, everywhere. I went to the most remote areas I could possibly reach. While driving, I wanted to look up a certain basin out in Utah that was once entirely habitated by the Ute Indians. And it's a place that they call the Skinwalker Ranch. Now, a guy named George Knapp wrote a book about it, and there was a rancher and his family that lived out there. They had prize bulls, high-end bulls. They were gonna, ranch. They were gonna farm this place. They were gonna stud out their bulls and ranch cows and all this stuff. The only problem is there appears to be all the hunting activities, everything else aside, there seems to be a portal out there. And the portal was allowing, according to the stories, and there are thousands of these stories, the portals were allowing otherworldly animals, entities, so forth and so on, to the point where they were harassing, mutilating, killing this guy's dogs, killing this guy's cows, moving bulls, and attacking horses. Long story short, it appears that somebody else was helping scare the rancher off this property, where he eventually sold it to a guy named Bigelow for $200 grand. Bigelow set up a bunch of scientists and so forth trying to prove this activity. And apparently the activity wound down. So basically, nothing to see here, folks. And yet, they have pretty clear evidence it was a portal, or a stargate as they called it. Now, George Knapp goes on and on and on. And at the very end, after all the stories about harassment, disembodied voices, lights in the skies that were chasing, giant spacecraft, and everything except humans being mutilated and killed, turned into black greasy spots on the ground, George Knapp comes up with the fact that, these were much more evolved entities coming through that were trying to guide us down a better path. Are you shitting me? These things were demons. They left footprints in the snow, just one footprint that they compared to a dinosaur, a raptor. And they come up with, these were more advanced entities than us that had millions of years more evolution that were trying to guide us, trying to show us another way. Really? All these things did was kill and mutilate living beings, living animals, and terrorize the people. And this is what he comes up with? And the other thing I found funny is the guy interviewing Knapp kept saying these were very expensive cows. These weren't regular hicks. These weren't your average country bumpkins. He keeps talking down about the regular people. As long as you have a degree, then you're worth something. Well, it seems funny to me that I think the people that are the bumpkins, that are the rednecks, knew exactly what this was. It was demonic activity. The scientists, the people with their degrees, couldn't quite figure it out what it was. And what their conclusion was, it was entities that were more evolved, higher than us, that were trying to show us a better way. By cutting out the rectums of cattle with laser-like precision, and by mutilating 4 dogs or incinerating them. Yeah, they were trying to guide us. These were demons. These were demonic entities, and the entire time I was in Utah, that's all I could find. I could find petroglyphs of giant spirals, portals, like I told you, and giant beings with horns, giant crazy-looking animals, and so forth. And there were footprints that I found in the ground that were raptor-like. So, I'm going to do a very good video on this when I get home, which should be tonight or tomorrow morning. And I'm going to lay this all out for you, and you make the call. These entities didn't harm the people, because these were no doubt God-fearing people, and they had the full armor of God around them. But as far as these being higher, more evolved versions of humanity that were trying to guide us, they were trying to guide this rancher by turning his dogs into a pile of molten mass meat. Yeah, I ain't buying it. George Knapp, George Norrie, all these guys only tell you as much truth as they're allowed to, and that's it. And it always seems to be guiding you to a higher, there's more out there. We're just lowly humans. We're just pumpkins. Yeah. Created in God's image is what we are. We are great. We have dominion. So there's that. I'm out.